Mr. President, I am pleased to present Dr. Jennifer Berg, Interim President of the Fitchburg State University chapter of the MSCA, who brings greetings from the faculty and librarians to the class of 2014.
Thank you, Dr. Bowen. I am honored to bring you all greetings from the faculty and librarian of Fitchburg State. While preparing these remarks, it occurred to me that in some sense, this is the last lecture of your undergraduate career. From my experience, there are a fair few of you in the audience who are suffering from a little bit of anxiety at the thought that this lecture will be presented by a mathematician. Not to fret, while my love of mathematics will pop up in these remarks, it will not, I think, dominate or obfuscate the broader message. I want to begin, however, with a bit of humor and reference to a great mind. There are these two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming in the opposite direction, who nods to them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" The two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over at the other one and goes, "What the hell is water?" David Foster Wallace, a writer of whom I cannot speak highly enough, used this, he called, didactic little parable-ish story to begin a commencement address to a college in Ohio in 2005. This address is commonly called, "This is Water." He uses a story to launch into his thoughts on the purpose of a liberal arts education, and I shall use it to do the same today, to frame what it was we faculty and librarians were hoping to impart to you in your time with us. For me, the young fish who gets to deliver the punchline is the hero, and illustrates the first thing I want to point to you as a goal we had for you in your time here. He asks the question. The braveness in this act, as you all know, is immeasurable. The older fish likely asked his question in a flippant, playful way, and the hero risks the ridicule of his peers by confessing that he has no idea what the old fish was talking about. We faculty and librarians made questions the centerpiece of our interactions with you, since we know that giving voice to your inquisitiveness is the root of all knowledge. In our lectures, our conversations with you across the reference desk, or sitting down for office hours, we were either modeling for you how to ask questions, or giving the floor to you to let you ask your questions. Asking questions requires bravery not only in the implicit admission of your own confusion or ignorance, but it also requires the inquisitor to divulge some of their inner workings, letting those who hear the question know what makes you wonder. To ask a question shares with the world what you were thinking and where your focus is. Faculty and librarians the world around love questions. We greedily soak them up, basking in the pleasure of shared inquiry. There is a stereotype of professors that we love to hear ourselves speak. I suspect that is because of the joy we express when a question is posed. It is not the speaking we love, but we delight in that sweetest gift of the mind, a question in need of thought and reflection. Dorothy Parker said it best, "The cure for boredom is curiosity. There is no cure for curiosity." A secondary but related outcome we had for you was the skill of communication. Now wait just a minute, you say. Surely the math professor will speak to the critical importance of quantitative reasoning in this new technology-driven global economy. Nope, I will save that for others. In all of your classes, even in your mathematics classes, we were striving to get you to learn how to communicate. Now, here comes that math I warned you about in the beginning. Imagine now, if you will, a circle. No, really, in your heads, imagine a circle right now. Now, think of the diameter of that circle. Draw that in your head as well. This will cut the circle into two halves. On one of those arcs, put a point. That point and the 2 points at the end of the diameter will make a triangle. Everyone have that in your head? A circle with a triangle. One of the sides is the diameter. There's something special about these triangles. Now, you all have slightly different triangles in your head, but there's something that they have in common. That's a question I'll let you guys pursue on your own later. I put that in your head. I put that in all of your heads. Communication has that power, And it is a power that you have to practice in many different environments, because you are going to need this skill, not only to go out and be successful in that technology-driven global economy. You will. You will also need to communicate with your loved ones. The language you use with your partners, with your parents, with your children will put thoughts into their head as clearly as that triangle in a circle I put into yours. Of course, the most important communication partner you will have is yourself. The language you use in your own head, the ideas that you let linger there, will define your life, as will the questions you pursue. It is with this in mind that I wish to send you off to your next goal, asking you now to go forward honoring these ideas the faculty and librarians have shared with you. This love of questions and this mindfulness of the way in which communication shapes everything in your life. Know that we, faculty and librarians of Fitchburg State, wish you the best in your choices as you venture into your future. We wish you way more than luck.
Mr. President, it is my pleasure to introduce Sarah Minton, President of the senior class, who will offer reflections on the seniors' years at the university.
Thank you very much. Good morning, parents, friends, family members, alumni, honored guests, President Antonucci, and the class of 2014. 4, 5, or even 6 years ago, many of us stood here staring at strange faces and unfamiliar buildings, waiting for a new chapter of our life to begin at Fitchburg State College. And now, here we are again, surrounded by friends and family, ending a chapter at Fitchburg State University. When I first began to collect ideas for this speech, I asked myself what I was going to be able to say that would resonate with all of you. So I made inquiries around campus, and I got one common answer: to keep it short. So I promise I'll do my best. My 2014 fellow class officers conferred, and we agreed that the oration should include what we learned in college and what makes us so proud to be graduating from Fitchburg State University. We compiled a top 10 list of what we learned during our Fitchburg State experience, and in the David Letterman fashion, we present you with number 10. A well-balanced diet has a complete new meaning. No longer do we have luxury of home-cooked meals. Healthy to us now means 1 pack of ramen and saying no to 2 a.m. takeout. With that being said, number 9, freshman 15 does not end at freshman year. It continues all the way to senior year, even when we have a completely free gym membership that we had for the past 4 years. 8, we are extremely fortunate to be part of the #1 state university, a university with a president who has dedicated over 10 years to Fitchburg State. As students, we have the right to brag about a president who willingly gets into photo booths with us, has his own Twitter account and will tweet at you, and cares, and most importantly, genuinely cares about our concerns and our successes. 7, to call home. Humans are the only species that allow their offspring to come home after they have left. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. 6, the word spree is no longer a candy. But a reminder to celebrate your accomplishments and reward yourself for all the hard work from the past year, as well as to surround yourself with those who have supported you along the way. 5, refresh, refresh, refresh. You will never hit the refresh button more times than you do for when grades are posted, picking housing, and registering for classes. It could actually be a skill on your resume at this point. 4, you may change your major several times, but eventually you will figure out where you're meant to be. 3, friends and extracurriculars will teach you the most valuable lessons, lessons you will take with you for the rest of your life. 2, 4 years sounds like a long time, but nothing goes faster than our time at Fitchburg State. It seems like just yesterday we were freshmen, getting divided up into our orientation groups, not knowing a single person or where we belonged. Whether you were called to Greek life, athletics, academic clubs, or made your own path during your years here, each one of us eventually found our place amongst our Fitchburg State community, a community in which we can now call home. 2 months ago, I sent out an email asking fellow classmates what advice they had for you as we leave one home and journey out into the world. Those responses were not only inspiring, but represented who the class of 2014 really is. There are 2 personal responses I would like to share with you. Sheena White, who said, "Don't ever stop believing in yourself, and always remember you might hear plenty of no's, but sooner or later that one yes is going to change your life." Thank you. I couldn't have guessed that one yes, you are accepted to Fitchburg State, would change my life, but it definitely has, and I can imagine that it's the same for most of you as well. Chelsea Richardson said, "Never forget your memories here, because they are what made you the person you are today. Remember Fitchburg State University, your institution, is where it began." 4 years ago, we entered this school as a strange and unknown place, and we are leaving today our home as alumni. As each of you walk across the stage to receive your diploma and alumni pin, you will be handed a gold key from the class of 2014. We as graduates are very similar to these keys. The key has no set destination and immeasurable potential. It can be fit for any type of lock and has the ability to open a great number of doors. We have paths, but no set destination, and although that may be frightening, it is also one of the most vibrant times of our lives. Lastly, these keys are a reminder of our home. Let this be a keepsake to remind you of all the friends that became family, memories that you will cherish for a lifetime, and a school that you can always call home. Oh, and by the way, number 1 on the top 10 list is to laugh. Don't take yourself too seriously. Life is short. Take time to laugh for and at yourself. Some may laugh at you, some will laugh for you, so why not laugh with them? Thank you and congratulations.
Great job, Sarah. Thanks. Isn't she the best? By the way, that key idea was Sarah's. We have to understand what it was, and it really has a lot of symbolic meaning. So make sure, graduates, when you get that key, cut it somewhere, but make sure it opens the right door, as she said, because it really, really is important. I'd like to also welcome all of you here this morning. It's my opportunity to welcome you to Fitchburg State University. We're very proud of our graduates. We're very happy their families are here, their mothers, fathers, spouses, grandparents, godmothers, young children, etc. We are a family. We are a community. We are a community that cares about each other. And today we come to celebrate. And I know the ceremony may be a little long, but it's the one time a year that we not only honor the class and the graduates, but other people who have contributed to this university. Without the support of so many groups, we would not be successful. We would not be the #1 state university without that kind of support. And that's what's critical about what we do. We're energized. We believe in this place. We honor our faculty and librarians. We honor our graduates. We honor our alumni. And together, we make things happen at this university. I'd like to take a few minutes to recognize some of those people before we get on to the commencement speaker. This year, we're lucky to have 33 representatives from the Alumni Association who participated in the processional. Now listen to this. Today, Vincent DeSouza is here representing the class of 1949, the earliest class being representative. Vince, stand up wherever you are. At breakfast, Vince said, "As long as I can keep walking, I will be here." So Vince, keep walking. We hope you're here for many, many more years, all right? Our flag bearer is Eric Commodore, President-elect of the Alumni Association, class of 1990. Eric, thank you for coming. And with the rest of the alumni, stand up to be recognized. Let's give them a round of applause. Stay standing. And would anyone in the audience who is an alum stand up so we congratulate you? All the alumni of Fitchburg State College, Fitchburg Normal School, Fitchburg State University. Let's give them a round of applause. You've already heard from our mayor and our state representative. We're very happy for them. We also have members of our board of trustees. You already heard from Carol Vittorioso, our chair. We have Don Irving, Stan Don, Mike Mahan, Nathan Gregoire, and along with Carol, give them a round of applause. And Anna Clementi. You know, the alumni, the trustees tell me to forget one person at each commencement because that person gets honor. So Anna, where are you? You got it today. Thanks a lot. We appreciate you being here. Seated in the front row of the graduates are the senior class officers and the student government officers who led the processional today. Sarah Minton, Carl Madre, Brianna Pales, Kristen Liming, Jessica Niles, stand up so we can recognize you. Where are you? They're here somewhere. There they are. How'd you end up way back there? I'd file a complaint with the president, so. Too late, you're graduates. You're on your own. Sit down. I'd also like to thank those people responsible for the ceremony today, and they told me not to thank them, but how can I not thank them? My mother said you always have to send a thank you note. We have a commencement committee make things happen. You saw them coming in here today. They do all the work. We come up and we honor you by being here. Our commencement committee, along with co-chairs Paul Weiser, James Reiser, Jess Augett, Gail from my office, the Academic Affairs office. Let's give all the people a round of applause. We also thank the facility staff, Fitchburg Access TV, our Information and Technology Department, the Brass Ensemble and Choral Ensemble. I'll get to the faculty after. We have employees graduating today. Melissa Brose from Bookstore Assistant Manager, getting her bachelor's degree in business. I know her mother is, so where are you, Melissa? Stand up. You're here somewhere. I'd like to thank the Sentinel Enterprise, the Worcester Telegram, and here's a promotion. The Alternative Spring Break Group is selling flowers at various locations across campus. They do no good to us this afternoon, so you need to take flowers home. You need to give your graduate flowers. You need to help these kids who give time and attention to their spring break. So I hope you do that. So let me move on. It is now my pleasure to introduce our commencement speaker, Christopher Maloney. Mr. Maloney graduated from Fitchburg State University in 1989 with a bachelor's degree in sociology. That degree was the foundation of a distinguished career in public safety that has taken him and up and down the East Coast with ever greater degrees of responsibility. Now, as the Chief Probation Officer for the District of Massachusetts, Mr. Maloney is making this state safer, helping offenders integrate into the community as law-abiding citizens. We at Fitchburg State University are honored to have him back on our campus today to share his unique insights. Chris, welcome back to Fitchburg State. You got your speech?
President Antonucci, alumni, distinguished guests, friends, family, and to the class of 2014, good morning and thank you for inviting me to participate in today's ceremony. It was 25 years ago this month that I too sat waiting to receive my diploma and what I now know were the keys to my future. As I left the Boston area yesterday with my wife Heather, my daughters Quinn and Rowan, and headed west on Route 2, it seemed like only yesterday that I too called Fitchburg State home. It's truly a humbling experience to be invited back to serve as your speaker today. When I received a call from the university a few months ago asking if I was interested in delivering this year's commencement speech, there was some apprehension on my part, as I thought, what possibly could I tell all of you that could be of some use today or in the future? You see, to me, commencement speeches were always reserved for the Oprah Winfreys and the Bill Gates of the world. However, it was explained to me that Fitchburg State had started a tradition years back of inviting alumni to address the graduates. So I thought back 25 years, thought about the lessons I learned at graduation, and to be honest, I couldn't recall who gave the address that day. So I agreed to do it. Times have changed since I left Fitchburg State, but many of the same challenges I faced upon graduation continue to exist for college graduates like you. I applaud the university's tradition of inviting alumni back to share our stories and the lessons we learned after leaving this campus. Without a doubt, several of you will someday be invited back to deliver the commencement speech, and you too will think back to today's graduation and would have trouble recalling who spoke. But don't worry, my feelings won't be hurt, because today is all about you, the class of 2014. For years now, you have received advice from your family, friends, teachers, and coaches, and now, on your last official day of school, the university has seen fit to bring in a federal probation officer to give you one last word of advice. Let's just hope that's a coincidence. But in all seriousness, I won't pretend to offer you words of wisdom or some secrets of success, but I simply want to tell you how this Fitchburg State grad